Right, let's start today's session. See, in the last lecture, we were discuss about Python installation process. Okay, so we have done with installation, we have uh, done the setup, and also we discuss how many possible ways to write Python code and execute. That is using interactive mode as well as using script mode and using Python ideally and using PyCharm editor. So finally, we have launched PyCharm editor. So let me open PyCharm editor. Just go to PyCharm community editor. As soon as when we open it, so in recent times on which project I work on, that project is going to be open. But this is not your project folder. So if you want to open your project folder, simply you just click on File menu of PyCharm editor, open, and go to the location of your project folder where you save. So in my case, I have saved the project folder in C drive, PyCharm projects. This is exactly your project folder name, Python project 11 AM, which we created in the last lecture. So select that and automatically it will open the folder. So it will ask you to open this window or new window or attach or cancel. So this window means in place of Python project 10, it will be open 11 AM. But if I click on new window, in another window, 11 AM will be open. Or attach means along with Python project 10, below one more folder will be attached, 11 AM attached. So however you want, you can decide this. I'm just clicking on this window and notice this last time what code I have written, that code is going to be present here. Okay. So this is the last lecture. What we discussed, simply we introduced two Python files and written the code and run. Okay. So to execute this program, simply right click on test1.py and run test1. So we got the output clearly in the output window. So in today's lecture, I'm going to discuss most important fundamental concepts in Python. Okay. So Python fundamentals. Python fundamentals. Yes. So what are the fundamental concepts in Python? So first important fundamental concept is indentations. So most of the beginners, they might get confused in this level, indentations. Okay. Next, comments. And then next, keywords. Keywords are also called as reserved words. And then fourth one, identifiers. Identifiers. Fifth one, variables. And then sixth one, multiple assignment like this. So these are the total 6 fundamental concepts are there. You must and should follow it. Before going to enter into logical programming, these fundamental concepts are required. So indentation, comments, keywords or reserved words, identifiers, variables, multiple assignment like this. Okay. So first we'll look into indentation. So to understand this indentation, first let's look at this program. This program is not going to work in Python. I'm writing this code just to make you to understand indentation levels, how it is in Python. But this program best suitable for other languages like C, C++, Java, C#, .NET. So integer data type I equals to 10, semicolon. If I equals to 10, open bracket, close bracket here. So if it is something like Java or .NET, a system.out.println, that is true, I'm writing. Just else block, open bracket, close bracket. Okay. Here's system.out.println, again, false I'm using. Like this, false. Okay. So notice this program, simply I have initialized the value for I I'm just comparing I value equal to 10, matching or not, just I'm comparing. If it is matching, control jump into system.out.println true, if block. If not matching, for example, 100 value I'm getting. 100 equal to 10 is not correct. Not correct means it will jump into which block? Else block. So ultimately what I'm saying here, to consider a block of code, okay, to consider a block of code like if block or else block in other languages like C, C++, Java, C#.NET, programmers use open curly brackets, close curly brackets like this. These brackets can be useful. But in Python, we don't use this type of brackets. Okay. So instead of brackets, curly brackets, to consider a block of code in Python, we use what? Indentation. Indentation generally 4 spaces like this. 4 spaces indentation will be there. Okay. I'll tell you clearly why 4 spaces are required. Okay. Fine. Now that's what I'm saying, that don't write Python program in general in the initial stage of practice like Notepad. See, same program I'm going to write with Python standard. First, let's write this program in Notepad so that you will understand what is the problems in general you face while writing code in Notepad. Okay, but same code I'll write also in PyCharm. What is the advantage? You will see that. So you know that yesterday we discussed clearly how to write code in Notepad and save with the .py, execute in command prompt. Okay, so let's open simple Notepad text editor and look at this I equals to 100. I'm writing this Python standards. Okay, if I equals to 100. This is Python standard code. Later I'll explain if condition syntax, else condition syntax later. Here my intention is not to explain about if else how it works. My intention is to explain about indentations. So if I equal to 100 after press enter, the cursor is blinking where, sir? From the beginning line, right? So usually I'm just writing here only print true only like this. Next, else block I'm using. Again, when I press enter, cursor is blinking in the same line. Again, I'm starting writing code here, false like this one. So I value 100. If I equals to 100, print true, else print false. Okay. So this is the logic action. But if it is matching with this condition, what result I'm expecting, sir? True. Yes. Let me save this first. Control S. Save it is in desktop. I'm saving the file name is test.py. Test.py. So already exists. Now let me go for test1.py like this. Okay. Yes. So it is test1.py. Let's minimize this. And already you have a test1.py file is available here. Test1. This test1.py. Next I want to execute. So where I can execute using command prompt. Let's open the command. Now you can see. And as you know that in my case, the desktop is located in OneDrive. So that's what I'm moving towards OneDrive first. CD space OneDrive. And after that CD space desktop like this. And now it's time to run Python file, Python space test1.py. So I'm expecting the true result, but you will see this, you will get error. What error? Indentation error. Okay, it's clearly saying that indentation error. Expected an indented block after if statement on line number 2. The problem is in this program, not logically correct. Program is logically correct, but how the way it is wrong structurally. This is not correct structure. As I said, other programming languages, people follow curly brackets, at least open and close, to consider the block of code if block else block. But in Python, we don't have such type of brackets to consider a block of code. So to follow the block of consideration in Python, we use indentation. I'm saying that the indentation is what? 4 spaces. Now coming to this here in Notepad window. So in this case, what will happen? Every line is going to be treated as separate lines. Sir. There is no statements under the if block. There is no statements under the else block. So this print is there, but it is not under comes into the if block. Why? Because you have to give like 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces it is. Here also, I'm just giving 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So the moment when I give 4 space indentation level, Control S. Now this time you can see this print under comes into if block. This print under comes into else block. Now let's go back to command prompt and run test one. We got the result is true. Okay. Again, you just go to that notepad window, just change the value, save it back. I value 10. Here condition is evaluates to false. 10 equal to 100, not correct. Control jump into which block? Else block. So look this else block false we are getting like this. So this is the way to manage indentation levels in Python, especially to consider a block of code. If block, else block, in future for loop, while loop block, all the block of code 4 space indentation levels are common. But you may get out, sir, compulsory 4 space indentation levels are required. No, at least 1 space is enough. Look this. Here 4 space I'm giving. This is default, just we follow in regular format. But now you can see I'm just giving only 1 space, at least 1 space. Only 1 space will work. Or like this, more spaces also will work. At least 1 number of spaces, any spaces, no problem. So like this, it works. So at least 1 space, it's mandated to bring this print statements into if block. So now it works well, no problem at all. Same output we are getting. So this is indentation level. So what is the problem you notice, sir, when we type the code in Notepad? This is a problem. Indentations, if you know already very well, you can easily manage. But if you don't know how to manage, then it is a problem. Spaces must be required to give. So that's what in the initial stage of practice Python, I don't recommend to use Notepad. Okay, so let's go for PyCharm. Same logic I'm going to write in PyCharm. You can see this. I equals to 100. If I equals to 100, the moment when I press enter button, look at this auto indentation levels are happening or not. So automatically the 4 spaces are going to be leave. Then the cursor is blinking the indentation level after. As a programmer, you can start print over there like this one. Good. Again, else block, print false like this. It's worked well. I value 100. If I equals to 100, matching correct. Matching means control jump into if block, true. If not, else block. Once the moment I run, you will be able to get the output is true. And if I give 10 value, this condition evaluates to false, then the refresh false it is. So here auto indentation levels are going to be takes place clearly, right? So here also, if I don't give indentations like 4 space indentation levels, now it's give indentation error here. At least 1 space is required to bring this print inside the if block. At least 1 space is required to print this into else block only like this. Is it clear? Like this. So, but default indentation levels are what? 4 spaces like this. Like this. 4 spaces. Like this. This is the case. Okay. So this is indentation levels which is happening in Python. So especially to consider the block of code, you must follow 4 space indentation level. Why 4 space? Particularly, I'm telling you that by default in PyCharm, you can see in the bottom corner, there is a 4 space indentation levels auto configured that is. Okay, that's the reason 4 space indentation levels you must follow while typing Python logic. Okay, next comment section. What is comments? Comments are very commonly used things in Python language or any language, not only Python, C language or C++ or Java or .NET. Anywhere comment sections are very common. Okay. Generally, why we should use comments? If you write some lines of code, all of a sudden you decide that to avoid some lines of code from the execution, then you can put that lines into comments. So whenever you put that lines into comments, your Python interpreter simply exclude those lines from the execution. It will not include. Avoid that lines in the execution. But whenever you want to include again, uncomment it. It will come back again. So, but if you don't want to execute some statements, means it doesn't mean that you should delete that lines. If you delete again when it is required, you have to rewrite it again. It will take time, right? So don't delete those statements. Simply you can able to mention what comment section. It will be avoid to include in the execution part. This is one reason. And another reason is, for example, as a programmer, I'm writing some logic. Okay. So after while writing the logic, if I'm not leaving any comments or description about that particular logic, so all of a sudden I left from company. In my role, somebody will come and join. That person, whenever they look at my code, they don't really understand what purpose I define the logic and all, because I have not leave the comment section or description like that. Imagine if I leave the comments or description while writing the code. Okay. So if anybody look at my code, they can understand clearly what purpose I have written the logic and all by reading the comment section. So this is second reason why we use comment section in Python. Not only in Python, any language we can say that. Let's see the comments, how it works well. But always in Python language, comments, how it starts means hash sign. Wherever you observe in the coding part, like hash symbol, that is called commented. Okay. First of all, you can see this is the logic which I have written now. I value 10, I equal to 100 like this. In the next lines, I'm writing some logic like hello statement and print welcome like this. If I run this, total program is going to run, sir? Yes. This logic is going to execute and these two lines also is going to be execute. Now you can see we are getting the output. The result of above statement is false and the below hello welcome also printed in the output window. But all of a sudden, I don't want to include these two lines into execution parts. So let them comment it. How to put simply as sign. I'm just doing manually. So whenever I give the hash sign for these two statements, this is commented lines. That is not appear in the execution. Again, do you want to execute these two lines? Remove the hash sign, uncomment it is. Uncomment in the sense it will include the execution part only. But sir, now this time, first 5 lines I want to keep in comment. I don't want to execute that logical program. But if we imagine 10, 20, 30 lines also, if you want to give the comment in the sense, every line I need not to go separately and hash. That is typical process. So that's what in Python, there is a shortcut for making the comment, control plus forward slash. This is the shortcut for comment, control plus forward slash. See, sir, if I use control plus forward slash, how means after selecting all those lines. Look at this. I'm selecting all these lines and from my keyboard, I'm hitting control forward slash commented. I'm executing only 2 lines of code executing like this. Hello, all. Again, do you want uncomment? Same procedure. Select these lines. Again, control forward slash uncomment. Comment, uncomment. Both are working well. Suppose whole program, total program, do you want to keep in comment? Control A. Select all like this. Control forward slash commented. When I run, nothing, no output, because all lines into comment section. Again, uncomment purpose, control forward slash uncommented. So select how many number of lines you want to put into comments, then control forward slash shortcut. So this is the better way to practice comment section in Python. And not only this, existing code you can avoid by including comments, but you want to write some description like here, chunk data I'm using. This is my description, assume that. So you can keep your statements into comment section. Whenever you only look back your code after a few days, you can understand clearly by reading your comment section at what purpose you have designed this program like that only. So this is about comment section in Python. So comments are starts with hash. And if you want to put multiple lines, comments, control plus forward slash like this. Okay. Next, another fundamental concept is keywords. Keywords are reserved words, we can call it as. Yes. See, sir, every programming language is having some keywords. That words are going to be reserved for particular task. The word which is reserved for particular task, same task purpose you have to use. You can't change its purpose. Sir, one keyword is there. That keyword is designed for defining the function. Only that keyword can be used for defining the function only. You can't use your own purpose like variable. Okay, no, not possible. But first, before that, let me explain how to bring the keywords in Python. In Python, current version, what kind of keywords are there? And if you want to bring keywords, simply there is a 2 lines of program is there, sir. Let me close this. Let me add one more new file to this project folder. Right click on it, go to new Python file, and give the name test2.py. It's my series of the file test2. Here I am writing simple 2 lines of program. Through that, I'll bring complete keywords list in Python. So import keyword. What is this library? So import is a keyword. Keyword is a library. Okay. Below print keyword dot kw list I'm taking. Keyword dot kw list. Keyword is the library name. Kw list is a class name. Once I run this, now you can see we are getting complete keyword list in the output window. But notice this, in the output window, all keywords are not appearing at once, right? You have to horizontally scroll. Then only you will get more keyword options you are going to see. But how I can making into one window all keyword list means there is an option called soft to wrap. Look at this. This is an option, soft to wrap. In the terminal left-hand side, soft wrap is there. As soon as when we click on it, all the keywords will be present in the same window. You need not to scroll horizontally like this to view all the keywords at once. And look at this. This is completely keyword list in Python. This is the list type, sir. Okay, square bracket is starting is there, ending is there. This is called list type. But Python is a case sensitive programming language, I said in last lecture. Case sensitive in the sense, first 3 keywords you can observe. False, capital, N capital, yet true, T capital. But remaining rest of the all keywords are lowercase, small letters. Okay, so this is keyword. And look at this in the program only. I am using already one keyword, import. In the import, there is an import keyword is available. This is also one of the keyword. Why I am using this import keyword to import library? The purpose is this import keyword is reserved for only to import libraries. Okay. For example, here if is a keyword here. Look at this. There is a if keyword is there. Okay. If is a keyword for what purpose? Conditional check. If keyword is reserved for conditional check. But I am using here in my program how? As a variable. Look at this. I am using this if keyword in my program right now as a variable only. But actually the if keyword is not used for declaring the variable. If keyword is used for checking condition. The if keyword is reserved for checking the condition. But how I am using as a variable, it will not. Look at the syntax error. Invalid syntax is coming like this. So this is a keyword. You can't use this keyword as your own variable name because every keyword is reserved for particular task. Which task it is reserved, same task purpose you have to use it. Purpose should not be changed. But for example, IFF I am giving. Do you think is this keyword IFF? No, right? So that means this is a valid name of your variable. Your variable name can be of any name, no problem. Value we are printing 100 here. Because it's not a keyword. It's my name of the variable. That's it. Any name. Other than keyword, any name you can use. No problem. But if it is keyword, it's not possible to use it. So every keyword is reserved for particular task, and same task purpose you must use these keywords clear. But in our upcoming session, I will also discuss each and every keyword purpose, why I'm using, I'll explain it. But it is not possible right now only to discuss all the keywords purpose, because with the flow, during the topic discussion, I'll include in the middle the keywords. I'll tell you at that time clearly this keyword so and so purpose we can use like that. Okay. So these are all the keywords which are available in Python language. So these two lines of code is important. Import keyword, print keyword dot kw list. Keyword is a library name. Kw list is a class name. So these two lines anywhere it works, sir, not only in Python, even normal editor like yesterday what we have launched, ideally Python. It's a default editor. Like when the moment I install Python software, you will get a default editor. This default editor also there you can write it clearly. So just a moment. Here also you can write import keyword, but only the problem is here there is no IntelliSense. You have to write your own. Then here print is not compulsory. So keyword dot kw list I'm using. We got this output same keywords. Anywhere you can write it. These two lines even you can write in Notepad, save it .py, run in command prompt. There also keyword list you will get completely. So this is about keywords, and each keyword is having its own purpose. Then you should not change that purpose. Okay, fine. So next fundamental concept is identifiers. See, sir, in Python language, any name is considered as identifier. How I can identify you by your name? How you can identify me by my name only? So in Python, every value has its own name. Either it can be a variable name, or it can be a function name, or it can be a class name, any name. Names are nothing but identifier. Suppose one value is there, 10. 10 will be assigned to variable called A. How you can identify or access 10 value? By its name, print A. So that is called identifier. Okay. But in Python, to declare the names like variable name or class name or function name, some rules are there. Total 8 rules I'm going to explain now. Rules to define identifier. So let me include this. What rules are there? Rules to define identifier. Yes, rules to define identifiers. So rule number one. Rule number one. Identifier can be a lowercase and or uppercase. Identifier can be a lowercase or uppercase. And rule number two is nothing but identifiers are case sensitive. Case sensitive means how the way you provide the names, same way you have to access. If you declare the names in lowercase, you have to access in lowercase only. If you declare the names in uppercase, you have to access in uppercase only, compulsory. So let me explain these two rules and regulations. Okay. Now, first, EMP ID equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So EMP ID is a variable. Value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How I am accessing EMP ID only. Let's run it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 value, we got it all. It's correct. But suppose if I access this into capital letter EMP ID, is this correct, sir? No, you will get an error. What error? Name error. The name EMP ID capital letter is not defined. Yes, I defined. What way I defined lowercase? But you are attempting to access uppercase, not possible. But at least you can declare this uppercase, it's okay now. I'm defining my variable in uppercase, but I'm accessing again uppercase, it's okay. But remember, I don't recommend to use the variable names or any names all in capital letters. You may get, why sir, it working no capital letters? Yes, but not required. Why? I'll tell you that reason. In general, in other language point of view, I'm speaking, okay, Java, .NET, if they want to make their variables are constant, they'll use const keyword like this. Const A equals to 100 means this value is fixed. nobody can change this value because constant variable it is. But in Python, there is no constant concept. Okay. But how I should convey to other developer that my variable value constants means by making your variable name capital letters. Got clarity? So that means that's what I'm saying. Unnecessarily don't use capital letter names. If you mention your variable name or class name or any other name capital cases, that leads to other definition that convey to someone that is constant only. Okay. So for all the constant declare in Python language with capital letters. Do you want to really expose your variable and values are constant to somebody you want to convey? Then declare capital letters. Unnecessarily, if we declare capital letter, then other programmers understand that that is a constant value. Really, even though they declare capital letter with value, if they want, they can change it, modify possible, because Python do not support constant. Okay, that's the reason I'm recommending you better to go for all the time lower case. In case you want to declare this value should not change by anybody means constant declare, that is capital letter EMPID. But even though they can able to modify because Python do not support constant. So that's the reason better to go for lowercase declaration. And rule number 3, okay, identifier allow the digits. Yes. While defining the names, you can include digits. But rule number 4 says what you know, identifier should not starts with the digits. Identifier should not starts with the digit. This is also compulsory. While declaring the names, you can include digits, numbers, but it should not start with numbers. For example, you can see EMP1. Okay, sorry. Here, my variable name EMP1, ID 8. Digits are there, right? 1 is there, 8 is there. But where it is there? In the middle, in the last. So this is valid. No problem at all. It's working well. But if I start my variable name with a digit like 9, it's not valid, sir. It's invalid. Look at this. If I start my variable name starts with a digit, it's invalid. No, not possible. So that's the reason the rule number 3 and 4 identifier allow digits. It can have the digits, but it should not start with digit. Next, rule number 5 says identifier allow the underscore. This is only the special symbol which can allow some underscore symbol. Remaining special symbols are not allowed. Okay. Why? Because this is also underscore. The reason is rule number 6 says identifier should not be 2 or more parts. Identifier should not be 2 or more parts. In case if you define any name more than 2 parts, better to combine those parts by using underscore sign. For suppose here EMP ID space, here I'm giving EMP space ID. Here EMP space ID like this. EMP one word, ID is another one. 2 words are there, not valid. So at least you have to combine by using what? Underscore sign like this. So EMP hyphen ID like this. So this is valid. So identifier allow underscores, that is special character only allowed underscore, remaining special characters not possible. The 2 should not be 2 or more parts, then we can use underscore sign. And rule number 7 says if an identifier starts with underscore, then it is private. Okay. If an identifier starts with underscore, then it is what's a private. See, normally in Java.NET, programmers wants to make their variables are private. They can use private access modifier like private int ID. Okay, like if they want to make public int ID like this one. But in Python, there is no such type of access specifiers, private, public, protected or something. But in Python, how we can define the variables or methods or private or public means symbolically. Symbolically means if suppose here this is my variable name, x is variable name, value is 10. Okay, x value 10. By default, all the variables in Python are public because no underscore started with. Okay, so this is public variable. But if I try to starts with double underscore, variable begin with double underscore, here it is begin with double underscore. This is called what? Private variable. But here I am not able to give clarity because the reason is this style of coding, it will be there in upcoming sessions, like especially object-oriented programming. Generally, while dealing with object-oriented programming, we will interact with classes. When we define the private variable in one class, in that class only we can able to access, not other class or outside of the class. But when we define variable or methods are public, public means the variable or method not starts with underscore. Normal. That's what I'm telling by default, all variables and all methods in Python are public. Public means anywhere we can access, anybody can access. In one class, if I define, other class also possible to access. But sometimes as a programmer, I need some restriction on my variables and methods. How I can provide restriction? By making my variables and methods are private. Private means underscore if I give, other classes not allowed to access. Only same class it's possible to access. This is restriction. Later I'll come to know that. Okay, you will come to know that clearly. I'll discuss clearly when it comes to object-oriented programming. And the last rule number 8 already I discussed. No keyword or reserved word. Okay, no keyword or reserved word. Reserved word used as identifier. No, not possible. Do you think a keyword can be act as variable? No, not possible. Okay, suppose here def is a keyword. Normally in Python, to define a function, we can use def keyword, defining something. But how I am using this def keyword as a variable? Possible, sir. Undoubtedly not possible. Look at this. Invalid syntax. So this is a standard keyword name. This is reserved word name. This word is reserved for to define a function, but you are using as your own variable. Purpose has changed, not allowed. So this is all the 8 rules you must follow, especially while working with names in Python. Any name, while variable name, class name, function name, names are important. Name while defining, you must keep in your mind these rules only. You cannot cross the rules. Okay. Next, I'm talking about variables. Now tell me, sir, variable is also called as identifier? Yes. I said identifier is nothing but it's a name. It can be variable name, function name, class name like this. Variable is also called as identifier, I'm saying. But variable is having some separate definitions. Let's see. What is variable? Variable is a named memory location. Variable is a named memory location. For example, let us consider this is A and A I am printing here. I am asking you where the 10 value is going to store. A with name A. In A, 10 will be stored. But to hold or to store the 10 value inside the A, Python should assign some memory space for variable A or not? Yes. So if Python assigns some memory space for variable A, in that memory space, 10 will go and store. If you want to store the value inside the variable, first of all, the variable should get some memory. That's what variable definition is. It is a named memory location of the value. In Python, every value has its name. Okay, for that name, you should allot memory. Means Python should allot memory. That's what we can say variable is a named memory location of the value. So on which name or which memory a value or 10 value is going to store means A only. Okay, but in Python language, in Python, while declare while declare the variables, we need not to, we need not to specify, we need not to specify the data type. Yes, we need not to specify the data type. In Python, while declare the variables, we need not to specify the data type. Why? Because, already explained, because Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Python is a dynamically typed programming language like this. Dynamically typed programming language. Dynamically typed means what? During the program execution, based upon the value, automatically Python decide the data type. Okay, so that's the reason. For example, here print type of A. You know that type is a built-in function to get the data type of your variable. Now you can see type of A means what type? Integer type. If I assign my variable value 10.8, Python decide for A type is what? Float type. Suppose here I'm just giving the name. Now what type it is? String type. String means group of characters. And remember, in Python language, even one character also is considered as string. But according to Java.NET, one character is always char, char, char type. But there is no char type in Python. Single character also considered as string. Even there is no character also, empty string it is. Look this empty string. And even within the double quotation marks, any number if you give, that also called as string. So if quotation marks, if you remove, then it leads to what? Integer, like number. Okay, inside the quotes, anything is there. Spaces or special symbols or numbers, that's called string. So this is variable, and variable is a named memory location of the value. In Python, while declare the variables, we need not to specify the data type because Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Okay. Yes. Now next, last fundamental concept in today's session, multiple assignment. See, sir, right now, I'm just taking a variable and value 10. This is single assignment, means one value I am assigning to one variable. That's it. But what is meaning of multiple assignment? You can see this. There are two process will be there. Multiple assignment is the process of assigning a single value to multiple variables. Multiple assignment is the process of assigning a single value to multiple variables. And multiple assignment is also the process of assigning multiple values to multiple variables. Right. Multiple assignment is the process of assigning a single value to multiple variables. Multiple assignment is the process of assigning multiple values to multiple variables like this. Both, I'll show you. First option, I'm showing how to assign a single value to multiple variables. Okay, fine. So just consider this program. Sir. A equals to B equals to C equals to 100. Right hand side, only one value is there, 100. But at a time, I'm assigning to how many variables? 3. A equal to B equal to C equal like this. Why this is, sir? Because just A 100, B 100, C 100. Instead of 3 lines, we can make it single line. That's the only reason. If you want, you can go with 3 lines only. A 100, B 100, C 100 like this. But I'm trying to do this print A, print B, print C. So all A and B and C values what? 100 only. One by one line is coming like this in output. So at a time, I am assigning single value to multiple variables. For A and B and C, only one value, same value. This is called multiple assignment concept here. Assigning single value to multiple variables. And just a moment, sir. How the way I'm printing here? Line by line. One A variable print and second variable print, third variable print. That's what I'm getting output window 100, 100 line by line. Can't we make in same line? Yes. How it is? Simply, you can go for A comma, B comma, C like this. If I do this, the output will be in the same line. Listen carefully. Once the moment I print A, B, C, the default separator after 100, what is that? Space. This is the default separator. Each value separate with space. But I want to separate my values with comma sign. Or I want to separate with my values with hyphen or colon. So then in this context, you go for separator attribute SEP. It's an attribute equal to, within the double quotes, you can mention your separator symbol, comma. You see that output is comma 2. Or else if I use colon, output is colon 3. Or else I'm giving hyphens, like multiple hyphens. Output will be hyphens 3. What the way do you want to separate? You mention in SCP attribute true. So that's what I'm giving separation like comma sign. Here SEP is an attribute, that is separator attribute. Print is a function to print the output. It's a built-in function. Okay. So this is the first statement program. Multiple assignment is the process of assigning single value to multiple variables at once. Let's go for second statement. Multiple assignment is also the process of what's that? Assigning multiple values to multiple variables like this. Let's see how I can, but let me comment these two lines by hitting control / and A, B, C equals to 10, 20, 30. Notice this, right hand side, 3 variables are there. Left hand side, so right hand side, 3 values are there. Left hand side, 3 variables are there. Orderly it will assign. 10 goes to what variable? A. 20, B. 30, C. So I'm printing A, B, C like this. We are getting 10, 20, 30 values. Default separator. And even if you want to give separators, comma. So comma separator like this. This is at a time I'm assigning 3 values to the 3 variables. But here one more attribute I want to introduce here. Let's see. I'm printing separately here. Print A, print B, print C. Line by line I'm printing, sir. Okay, let's print. But my requirement is, though I'm using 3 print functions like this, print A, print B, one after another, still my output should be in the same line, not in line by line. How I can make it means, simply there is end attribute is there, end with space here, end with space. If I use end with space, then even though you are using multiple print functions, but still your output will be in the same line. Look at this, same line is present here. End with space. If you want, you can use separator also. After end with separator comma like this, 10 comma 20 comma like this. Okay, this is the way to work with end attribute. But you may get out after C, why sir you have not provided end means not required. After C there is no T, C only last value. So this is about complete fundamental concept in today's lecture. What we discuss, all 6 fundamentals you must and should practice. Okay, these are the rules and regulations. Fundamentals concept in Python: indentation, comments, keywords or reserved words, identifiers, rules, variables, and multiple assignment concepts clear. Okay, so this is all the demo sessions are completed. Okay, last 3 days we are working with demo sessions. Especially I'm telling you who are in online sessions. So your demo sessions have completed, and tomorrow onwards, so you will be provide the new link, which is GoToMeeting link. This link will not work for you. So before going to join tomorrow's session, you must enroll for this course. For this, please contact DURGASOFT. They'll assist you how to enroll for this course. Only the students who completed their enrollment process, then you will receive the new link. You can feel free to join in on that link from tomorrow onwards continuously. So other than this, if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me. And who are new to this session, who are in online especially, I recommend to watch my 3 demo lecture videos. After completion of this session, our team will send the demo link, video link also. You can watch it and continue it. Mr. Rahul, automation to be JSON, JavaScript, all these things will come across in full stack development only, sir. Django, okay? Yeah. Will you provide Python and Django classes in parallel as my focus is Django and test API? No, sir. If you really, Mr. Nishan, if you're really looking for Django, okay, so already morning 7:30 a.m. one batch is going. In that batch, I have completed 10 sessions of Django. Or else you can wait, okay, for 2 weeks or 20 days. And evening 4 p.m. around, I am going to start new Django batch with REST API. So that's the only option you have, especially are looking my Django and REST API Flask sessions. But this is not going to be happen parallelly because after completion of Python only, you can eligible to learn Django and REST API. If you have already familiar with Python, then you can go with the Django, otherwise no. Okay. Double inverted comma is required. At least single or double. Yes, compulsory, sir. Okay, like this. Any questions who are in online? I said already in my demo lectures, this is complete Python full stack course. Do you want to enroll for complete full stack course? We can, or else only Python core and advanced, 45 working days to 50 working days. And every video is going to be recorded. That video lecture will upload into a Google Drive folder and along with soft copy of material, all the subjects related. Okay. Yeah. So thanks for attending these demonstrations. I hope you understand. If you're really interested to attend my sessions, please feel free to contact DURGASOFT for enrolling this course. Tomorrow, I'm joining with new link, not this link. Okay. So have a nice time. See you tomorrow.